Welcome to Pilates for Runners and day 3 of your 7-day challenge. This session is focused on feet, calves and ankles. It's an often forgotten or neglected area for runners, which is a shame really, because when you think about it, they are the foundation of our running form. So if there's any weakness in the muscles around the feet, calves and ankles, or any restriction in any of the joints, that's going to affect how you move further up the body. So the easiest way to see this is if you come to standing, feet hip distance apart, and simply roll your ankles in or out. And by rolling the ankles in or out, you can see my knees start to move, my hips start to move in terms of the alignment that's going through them, the way that I'm using my glutes, and hip stabilizers is also going to change. So keeping that stability and that strength through the feet, calves and ankles really affects how we move further up the body. If you think about your running form, ideally, you want to be able to flex forward in that ankle so that you can roll over the foot and push off with that big toe. Again, you want that big toe to have the mobility to actually drive off of it. So if you've got a restriction through the ankle, which means you can't flex forward enough, it's going to keep your weight further back, even into your heels if you can't flex forward. So that's going to affect how you land and how you transfer the weight as part of your running stride. So this session is going to focus on strengthening through the feet, calves and ankles, but also on mobilizing them and making sure we've got a good range of movement. We are starting this session standing, so when you're ready, come to feet hip distance apart. You want the hip bones, middle of the kneecaps, all facing in line with the toes. When you're there, lift up through the crown of the head, tuck the tailbone so it's down towards the floor, and then gently engage those lower abdominals. From there, we're just going to warm up through the feet, calves and ankles. So we're just going to do a heel lift, starting from the heels, peeling up onto the toes, making sure that when you get there, you've got a nice even weight between the big toe and the little toe. So you aren't letting the weight roll out and you aren't letting it roll in. Slowly lowering back down. Again, peeling up off the floor and then slowly lowering back down. Peel up, slowly lower. So try to get up as high as you can on your toes, and then you're slowly controlling it on the way back down. High up, slowly down. Now, if you work through this session and you're finding it's really comfortable, you're not getting any discomfort in the calves and you can carry on and do a bit more, then the next time you do it, just add some weights to your hands. So you're adding a little bit more work through the calves. Slowly down, all the way up. You're trying to keep the weight over the toes. So when you're at the top, you're not pitching forward with the body. And down, all the way up, slowly down. We've got 5 more like this. Up, slowly down. 3. Again, just check that you're not rolling the ankles in or out. 2. And 1. From there, we're going to drop into a squat. So bending into the knees, and then we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to lift the heels and then lower them. Lift and then lower with control. So keep the body really still. You're not bouncing up and down with the body. It's just the heels lifting and lowering. All the way up, slowly down. All the way up, slowly down. All the way up, and then slow descent. Good. It's a nice bit of quad work as well. Again, remember you're trying to get as high as possible onto the toes and then lower. We've got 4 more. 4. 3. Lower abs are pulling in to help you hold this position and stillness in the body. And 1. Come up. We're going to go back to lifting up onto the toes with the legs straight. And then here we're just going to tap one heel at a time down on the mat. So what you want to focus on is keeping the hip bones nice and level so you're not hitching side to side. And you want to try and control it on the way down so that you're just tapping the heel, you're not resting it on the floor. So just taps, tap, tap. And again, you can have weights in your hands for this. Good, we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Come down with the heels, drop into that squat again, and we're going to do the same thing here. So when you're ready, lifting up one heel and then tap, tap, tap. So remember, nice and light through the heels. The body stays really still. And getting that full range in the foot, so you're getting right up onto the ball of the foot before you tap down and switch sides. Good, remember chest up and open. So the reason we're doing a straight leg one and then a bent knee one is to make sure that we're getting use of both of the calf muscles. All right, the big gastrocnemius and the smaller soleus muscle. Good, 3, 2, 1. Come down both heels, rise up. This is where you might want to get hold of a wall so you've got a really light connection with the wall, because we're going to take it to single leg now. So when you're ready, you're going to bend the right knee up. Try not to lean on the wall, stay light and use your center to try and balance you. When you're ready, we're going to rise up onto the toes on the left. Check that we're not rolling the ankle in or out, and then slowly lower. Straight up, slowly lower. Straight up, slowly lower. So if you're using a weight, obviously you can put it in your free hand. Slowly down, all the way up to the top, slowly down. Good, we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly down. We're going to switch legs. Come onto the right leg, all the way up onto the toes, and then slowly lower. Lift, slowly down. Just tapping the heel on the floor and then straight back up. And always making sure that at the top, the weight is over the standing leg, not tipping forwards, and the weight is nice and even between the big toe and the little toe. We're not rolling the ankle. So you probably feel this in the calf the first, but actually it's working all the way through the foot and round the ankle. Good. 5 more. 5. Slowly down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down, switch back to the left leg, and we're going to do the bent knee. So bending into that left knee, same thing, lift, tap, lift, tap. Get right up on the toes. Make sure the weight is nice and even between big toe and little toe. Good, remember lower abs are pulling in, so you're nice and strong through your center. 5 more from here. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one's 1. Come down, switch back. Last set, I promise. Bend into that left knee, drop down into the right knee, lift and lower. And this also gives you an indication when you're doing your single leg of which side might be stronger or weaker. Remember, roll straight up so the weight is even between big toe and little toe. Good. 5 more from here. 3, 2, 1. Come down, shake it off. And then come onto your mat. Take a step forward with the left leg so that your foot is not too far in front of the right one. We don't want to, it's not a squat position we're going, or a lunge position we're going into. And then from there, hands either on the thigh, or if you can reach the floor, then touch the floor. Now keeping your weight in the big toe on the back foot. So in your right foot, you're going to bend into the knee, tap the right knee on the floor, and then straighten back up. Come down, tap the right knee on the floor, straighten back up. Right knee taps and then comes up. So we're just mobilizing that right ankle and through the foot and toes on that right side. 2 more. Right heel lifts, the left heel stays down. Good, last one. Now, if you can tolerate it, you're going to sit back on that right ankle so that you take that foot into a stretch and you hold it there. Make sure the weight's down through the big toe on the right. And then with the left, we're going to take it into a calf stretch. So we're going to lean the body into that left leg as much as possible, pushing the knee down towards the floor, keeping the heel connected to the mat. So you'll feel this down into the Achilles and the base of the calf muscle, or muscles, I should say. Push the knee down to the floor with your body or with your hands, or combination of. Take some nice big breaths. Good, then release by just straightening the legs, stepping back, same on the right leg. Right leg comes forward, hands on the floor or on your right thigh, and then we're just going to bend into the left knee, tap the left knee on the floor and come back up. Remember, keep that weight on the left foot down through the big toe. All right, if your big toe feels quite stiff and not that mobile, you might try and roll the weight out onto the little toe to accommodate it. So try to avoid doing that. Push the weight down that big toe. Good. This next one we're going to pause and hold. So come down. If you can tolerate it, sit back on that ankle. And then we're going to push into the right knee, keeping the right heel on the mat, pushing the right knee towards the floor. Nice big breaths. And again, feeling that stretch into the base of the calf. Nearly done. Good, release off. And then take your feet behind you, untuck the toes. We're just going to stretch the ankles the other way. So if you can, you're going to sit back with your weight. Obviously, the more forward you stay, the easier this is going to be. So if you want to, take the weight so you're sitting on the heels. Alternatively, take the weight back. And the last way to increase this stretch is to lift the knees up off the mat. So you're really stretching the ankles the other way. And then take some nice big breaths there. Good, release off when you're ready. And we are done for the day.